Hi guys. So this is your lesson for Wednesday the 23rd and Thursday the 24th. So last time we learned about fractional distance on the number line, and I hope you watched both of those videos because I didn't cover everything, so I added another video just to help make sure you got the whole picture there. Today we're going to be adding on just a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is it's fractional distance on a coordinate plane. So if I give you an X and Y point, or two of them actually, can you find 2/3 of the distance between those 2 points? And your answer is going to be a coordinate point. So it's kind of like the same thing, we're just doing it twice for X's and Y's. Like, you know how the midpoint on a number line is just A plus B divided by 2? And then when we do it on a coordinate plane, we just have to do that formula for the X's and we have to do it for the Y's. It's kind of like that. If any of this is giving you trouble, please come see me because all of this is for grade. I'm compiling everything that you turn in and you get a weekly grade for this. So make sure that you're coming in and asking for help, okay? I'm so excited. We're getting really close to being able to meet in person, at least when I'm recording this. We're supposed to meet September 28th for the first time. And so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully that's when we get closer to that date, it's still that date. Because I can't wait to just meet you guys and see you in person. But anyways, go ahead and get out your notebooks. I hope you already did the warm-up for today and then checked with me at the beginning, and then you should be watching this video and then come back and ask for help if you need help, okay? So we again I'm gonna flip my camera over and we'll go ahead and start taking our notes today. Yep, gotta flip it, sorry. All right. So we are going to be, this is, I'm going to use book for now, and then I'll switch 9-23 through 924. And this is fractional distance. On a coordinate plane. So just like the last time, I'm going to give you steps to help you get through this. And then we're going to write out the steps and then we'll do some example problems together. Okay, so step 1. Is find the distance between your X's and your Y's. So you're gonna get 2 different distance. And I like to put like dx and dy, distance for X, distance for Y. And you'll see how I write it later. So it's kind of the same as your distance on a number line. Find the distance between the 2 points, find the distance between your X's, find the distance between your Y's. Step 2. You're gonna multiply both distances, the one for the X and the Y, both distances by your fraction. And then step 3. You have to figure out, are your X's increasing or decreasing? I'm gonna put, are your X's and your Y's, because you have to figure it out for both. One might be increasing, one might be decreasing. They might both be decreasing. They might both be increasing. But you need to find out, are your X's and Y's increasing or decreasing? And then the last step, if increasing, add to your starting point. Remember, just like we had, I said earlier, make sure you always use starting point. If decreasing, what do you think we do? If decreasing, you subtract from your starting point. All right, so once you have that down, pause it if you need to, and make sure you get those steps down. I'm gonna draw one graph with a bunch of points on it, and we're gonna use that for our examples today. Let's see, I'm gonna go one more. So 1, 2, 3, right here, we'll call this A. B, C. We might add another point there, but I think that should do for our examples today. I don't know, I'm gonna probably do 2 examples and see how we feel. All right, so example 1. It says find coordinate D if it is 2/5 of the distance from A to C. All right, once you write that down, we're gonna look at this and we're gonna talk about it before we even start any math. So here's A, here's C. I know that if I wanted to find the midpoint, it'd probably be somewhere right there maybe. So 2/5 is a weird fraction. So what I like to do is I like to get out Desmos, because I'm not good at knowing what those fractions are exactly. So let's do 2 divided by 5 and 0.4. So it's a little less than halfway. That's how I like to think about it, because halfway is 0.5, right? So 2/5 is just a little less than halfway. So if we're starting at A and we go halfway, we said about right there, it'd be like a little bit less. So I'm assuming it's gonna be right around here somewhere. It might be a decimal too, because I'm making these up as I go. Now, if you think about it, it does matter because, so let's say it's right here. If I said from C to A instead of A to C, well, here's half, let's say that's halfway, it would be over here. And so order really, really matters and it's important. So when we're done, we're gonna check our answer. We're gonna make sure it's somewhere maybe around here, okay? Now this is a drawn graph, it's not perfect, so we might be a little bit off, but it should be somewhere in that vicinity around the origin. All right, so we're gonna do our A value. So let's find point A. And so I'm gonna do A to C. And I'm gonna draw my coordinate points here and here. And so A is at 1, 2, 3, -2. And then point C, remember you always do X first. This is your X, this is your Y. -1, 2, 3, 4, -4, +2. All right, so step 1, if I look back up at the top, it says find the distance between your X's and your Y's. So 2 separate distances. So again, so I like to put the distance of X and the distance of Y. And I know it's absolute value of A minus B. We're not using that long, ugly distance formula because I don't want to find the distance between 2 coordinate points. I want to find just the distance in the X's and the distance in the Y's. So it's a little different. All right, so here, X's come first. So 3 and -4. Now I don't need a calculator for this because I know when I have 2 minus signs together, I add. So 3 plus 4 is 7 and it's already positive, so it stays 7. And then here, -2 and +2. So -2 minus 2 is -4, but remember these absolute values are always the positive, so it's gonna be +4. And you can use Desmos on this if you want. So if you're not sure how I'm getting these, pause it and plug this into Desmos and see how that I'm getting these numbers, okay? Now, step 2, let's look back up here. Multiply both distances by your fraction. Okay, so I said 2/5. So I'm gonna just do times 2/5 times 2/5. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit ugly. I'm just gonna multiply the top. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 over 5. Right now, I'll make it a decimal later. I'm fine if you guys do that, but I'm gonna keep it in fraction. 4 times 2 is what? 4 times 2 is 8, so 8 over 5. I know I wrote my fractions different. I hope that doesn't bother you. All right, step 3. Are your x's and y's increasing or decreasing? So you have to always start with, and I always write it on top for a reason. From 3 to -4, is that going up or down? Okay, so that is going down. So I'm gonna put 3 minus, and this is my x's here. And then my y's from -2 to +2, well, that's going up. So I'm gonna do -2 plus. So we're just looking at just these numbers here, 3 and -4. If I start at 3 and I go to -4, I'm going down. So I know I'm gonna subtract from the 3. And you always have to do it from that starting point. And then here from -2 to +2, if you think about it, it's going up on the number line. So you're gonna add to that starting point, -2. And I'm gonna add these numbers that I got over here. So for the x, I got 14 over 5. So I'm gonna subtract 14 over 5. And for the y's, I got 8 over 5. So I'm gonna add 8 over 5. Now this is where we're gonna use Desmos and just give a decimal answer, and then we're done. All right, so I have 3 minus 14 over 5. So I'm gonna use that here. 3 minus, and I always I don't know why it's for the calculator use, I always put my fractions in parentheses. I got 0.2. So I'm gonna put 0.2 here. All right, and then -2 plus 8 over 5. Let's see if I can do it without the fractions. -2 plus 8 divided by 5. And I get -0.4. So yeah, you don't have to use the parentheses like I did. So they're saying my answer should be at 0.2 for the x, comma, -0.4 for the y. And so let's look at it. Because remember we said this was about where it should be, right? Because halfway it looked about right there, a little less, might be over here. Positive 0.2. 0.2 is pretty small. So I'd say it's a little bit more than 1, maybe about right there. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Like right here. And then negative almost a half. Well, oh, so it's about right there, I would say. I'm gonna put a little dot there. There we go. And that's exactly where I said it would be. And so that's how you can kind of check your answer. Does it make sense? All right. Example 2, we're just gonna do one more and then we'll be done, okay? If you need more examples, come on Zoom and I will make them up for you. Example 2. Let's do find coordinate, we'll call it x. It's weird teaching when I have no feedback. Usually I would ask you guys to give me some of these. Give me the fraction, give me all of it. Find coordinate x if it is, let's say 1/3 of the distance from, let's go B to A. All right. So if you think you might have this or you just want to try on your own, I want you to stop the video right now and I want you to try it on your own, and then if you get stuck, play it a little bit longer, see what we did, and then pause it again and keep going. Or if you can get through the whole thing, just skip to the end, see if you got the answer right. Okay? So we're going from B to A. So point B to A. All right, so I already know A, we already used it. It's 3, -2, it's not gonna change. I just gotta find point B. So I'm gonna go up here. B is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. +3, +4. All right, so step 1, find the distance between your x's and find the distance between your y's. So the distance of x would be, and we'll do that, and the distance of y, remember A minus, the absolute value of A minus B. All right, so the two x's here, the first one is 3, second one is 3, y, which is 0. So there's no difference in your x values, and that's okay, so don't freak out. And then here, the distance in y, it goes from 4 and -2. So when you have two minus signs, what happens? It turns to a plus sign. So 4 plus 2 is 6, which is positive, so it's just 6. Step 2 says we're going to multiply these numbers by your fraction. So we're going to multiply by 1/3. Well, anything times 0, 0. This is actually going to work out kind of pretty for us. 6 times 1 is 6, divided by 3 is 2. So we get a whole number there, so it's kind of nice. Okay, step 3. Are your x's increasing or decreasing? So I'm kind of running out of room here, so I'm going to make it kind of small. Well, x doesn't change. So I'm going to start with 3, but what is the number I would add or subtract to it? 0, right? So what's, and so this kind of worked out. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. So it doesn't matter if you add or subtract here because it didn't change. We know the coordinate is 3. And so then we say, what about the y's here? Starting at 4 and going to -2. So 4 and it's going negative, it's subtracting. So we're going to do 4 minus 2, because this is 2 right here, equals 2. So the coordinate point for point x that we're looking for is 3, 2. Now let's look at it. Let's study this. Once you have that, let's look back at our graph. We're going from B to A, right? So if you broke it up into 3s, just kind of like, right? So this would be 1/3, 2/3, a whole. So they want 1/3. So I'm thinking that the coordinate point should be around here, which 3, 2, it's actually right there on that line. And so that would be 1/3 of the way. So always check and make sure that your answer makes sense, that it's if it's not even in between the 2 points, then you know you did something wrong. Okay, so let me flip this back over. All right, so again, I know that was only 2 examples. So if you need more help with this, please let me know. And everything you do for is a grade. Everything you do is for a grade, sorry, I misspoke. And so please make sure that you're getting it done and that you're getting good grades on it. Like, come ask for help, because I take that in consideration too. Hey, Miss K, I got 2 out of 5 right on that assessment. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm gonna write down that you came for help and that you asked for help and that you wrote it down and you seek guidance for that, okay? So it's kind of a half participation, half did you get it right. So try your best. You do have a test coming up, so to make sure you're taking the really good notes like we're writing down, okay? Because those steps are gonna help you do it on your own. If you need anything, email me, get on Zoom, come say hi, and I will see you guys later.